We now go to royal biographer Angela Levin this morning. Good morning, Angela. Little did we think when we spoke yesterday that this news was imminent.
Yes, no, it was such a shock. I sort of cried yesterday. I thought it was such a terrible tragedy for him, even though he can recover and be strong and is very positive. It just seemed he's had such a lot in these last 4 years that so many deaths and such a very difficult time with Harry that it would be yet another blow. But he's strong and he will do his best to stay firm and do what the doctor says, but also push himself forward a bit.
Yeah, interesting choice of words, do his best. I mean, those were the words we heard Queen Camilla using on public engagements last week when we're told the royal couple already knew the diagnosis. Clearly, he is being, as the palace has said, wholly positive about it all and trying to channel his mother in the sense of being free from panic in a crisis.
Yes, that's right. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I thought that was doing his best was a difficult phrase to say. And I wondered why, because it should have been a little bit better, you know. And I thought also the fact that he'd stayed in another night meant that they were looking for something and they found it.
What do you think he will find with Prince Harry?
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people saying, oh, this will be the repairing their relationship. But I think it's how Harry behaves that matter. He hasn't wanted to see his father unless he promised to apologize for not treating Meghan properly and for not giving him enough support. And it's also as if he's had a list of several hundred things that he goes back to his early childhood. So we will have to see. I think it's going to be very difficult for Harry, not the king, who's always loved him and always had a door open. But as far as Harry is concerned, he's a very changed person. He's very hard. And he's very determined, and he has to please Meghan. So it'll be very difficult to him between choosing whether he does do what Meghan tells him to do and what he wants to do about his father. He was very, very close to his father when he was younger, far closer than William, who is now very close to his father. And it might just open something in his heart that will make him feel that he's very lucky to have a father like that and very grateful for all the things he's had. But on the other hand, he does have a very difficult wife who runs their relationship.
Could it open a way back into the forefront of the royal family for Harry?
Well, you know, there are lots of coulds, but it's actually dependent on what Meghan thinks, isn't it? I mean, she can't stand this country and she does really dislike the royal family very much. So he's going to have a difficult time. I think it will be a real shock for him, and perhaps he shocks him into realizing that he's had a tremendously good life. But the thing is that it's difficult to trust him. If you remember, after the Prince Philip died, about 5-10 minutes after the funeral, he rushed up to his father and said, you know, that he was not having enough money and he was not listening to him enough. And then his father said to both him and William, you know, please, boys, don't make my final years a misery. That was alleged that he said, and Harry sold that to a TV program and earned some money. So we have to be very careful that he doesn't do something like this again, goes back home and then says all the details of what he's had. And I hate to be so negative like this, but this is a very different Harry. It's a hard nut Harry now.
Yeah, and lots of people feel once bitten, twice shy when it comes to Harry. What about his brother in all of this, Angela Levin? Because, you know, this is somebody who's estranged from his brother. He's lost his mother in tragic circumstances, recently lost his granny, who was one of the few who understood the responsibility he faces. One of his uncles is disgraced, and now his father and wife both unwell. He must be feeling incredibly lonely right now.
Harry said to me when I was writing his biography, we couldn't be more closer than we are. You know, we trust each other totally. We are together. We have the most amazing relationship because we've had the same experiences, terrible, difficult experiences. But now that's not the case. And William has got very used to Harry being rude and unkind, and actually also attacking his wife very rudely. And that would cut him through right to the core, even more than himself, because he loves her and knows what she's given up and how happy she's made him. And so I think it will be very, very difficult time for William to actually manage all these things that he has to do. You know, a wife that is recovering, but we don't know what from, a father who's got this problem now, and a lot of work leaning on him. And I think that's very, very hard for him. And it depends, you know, he doesn't want to have anything to do with Harry at the moment. And you can't blame him because he's been so rude and told untruths about both William and Catherine. I don't know how you completely can change that. You run into each other's arms. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to completely turn over a relationship and forget all the past. I don't think people can do that.
Angela Levin, fascinating listening to you. Thank you very much indeed for your analysis on the subject, and hopefully we'll speak again soon. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.